Oh, hello everyone. We will wait for a few more minutes for everyone to join. It is Friday features webinar, and we have David with me and also Saurabh with me. So we'll
Hey,
say hello to everyone, and we'll wait for a couple of minutes to get everyone to join. David, don't add yourself. Just wait for us to add. We have 7 people live. How's our video guy? Is he live on his desktop or not? So
layout guys.
layout guy is running around.
Layout guys.
Layout guy, can you be on your layout desk?
No, it's okay.
And we see comments from Rodrigo. Hello, Rodrigo. Hopefully the comments are not buggy. Great. So we will start as soon as we have more people joining the stream. And we'll give a few more minutes to the people to join. In the interim, please say hello to all of us, and we can greet each other and get started. How's everyone in US? I have no idea how's everyone in US, so just asking the question.
There's a snowstorm on the East Coast.
There is a snowstorm, really.
Yeah.
So layout guy, don't say hello everyone from my ID.
No, that was me. I thought that my ID would go in there. So
No, so the problem with StreamYard is that if I invite you, you're not a user, so you have to add your name. Don't use my invite. You have to add your name. So you have to edit your name. Sashi Nair is here dutifully. Hello, Sashi. Just add your name here in the interface. You'll see the name. Actually, I see your name. Oh, sorry about that. So yeah, you can't. Apparently, you can't comment
yeah.
on your own. Sunny and 45 degrees. Great. Good to know that. We have sunny and 45 degrees Celsius in Singapore. So pretty much the same weather, except F Fahrenheit is Celsius in Singapore. It's always sunny. It's always very hot. It's always very humid. And it never gets to 45, so that's misrepresenting Singapore. It's probably high 35, right? All the time. High 35, 30, 35 probably. In fact,
Yeah,
it's pretty
thereabout.
pleasant these days.
Actually, because of there were some torrential storms in the region,
Yeah.
which were good for Singapore in that we have had some very pleasant weather with temperatures going to even 24 degrees. I saw Asit wearing a hoodie today.
Asid wearing a declared, you should have taken a picture here.
So that was something.
So a layout guy, Saurabh's camera is looking very good. His background is looking very good. So that's a good setup. In fact, your whole setup is looking pretty decent. That's pretty good. I'm not very impressed by David's setup. I think that camera is a little, ironically, that's a very expensive camera. That's Sony ZV-1 that David is using. So this is Sony ZV-1, and your is Canon M50. I don't recall the exact number. Layout guy, can you help? I'll add you to the stream. What is Saurabh using?
It's Canon EOS RP.
EOS RP, right. And mine is Sony
Sony A7R4.
A7R4. First of all, I never get why do these guys name their cameras in such a complicated way? Why can't they name it like iPhone? Just one name and one syllable or number. Why do they have to make it so complicated? But good to see Saurabh's camera setup very good. Again, not entirely sure if David's camera setup is good because the zoom is all over the place and he's not centered in the picture as well.
Hang on.
But anyway, enough chit chat. Let's start today's session. We have a lot of stuff to show today. We are showing something for Australia. Again, Australia lies in our time zone, so we'll show it again on Monday. We'll not spend a lot of time on Australia, but what we will spend a lot of time on today is Microsoft integration. So CRM has Microsoft contact integration. I don't know why it says here Microsoft Contact, but basically there's Microsoft integration coming in CRM. There is a user-defined SMTP for campaign, and something that it's very interesting is the workflow management. So after working for months, we have the workflow tool ready for release, and we'll show that to you in the workflow tool works with all products, but it works primarily with CRM. So you can do campaigns, drip campaigns, and make rules for your campaigns and so on. Very early stage, very early beta, so to speak, but we'll show it to you today. Very exciting new feature in CRM. And there are CRM is our contact management and our campaign has been historically not very feature rich, so we are kind of catching up and adding more features to that. So love to show you some part of that, and then we'll come back to show you standard books, CRM, and people demo, answer questions, Q&A, and then end the stream. So without much ado, we'll jump straight into some demos. We'll show you Australia compliance again, Saurabh. I think that should be for for this time zone. So maybe you can just show it quickly, or we'll just show it quickly, and then we'll come to currency.
Correct. Yeah, we'll not spend too much time on that. Just go through that quickly.
Great. So, David, up onto you.
Okay. 1 second. So first we're doing the report for Australia. So first we're going to click on company. And you can see the compliance, the Australia business, the BSA reporting method, full reporting method. We can click on sell. And we can click on buy, and we can see that there's been bills and invoices created. We can then click, on reports, and then we can click on business activity statement. So inside here, you can see the BAS for December 2020, BAS for July. You can click into the BAS login settings, so you can see simple reporting method, full reporting method. You can see the Australian business number. Your tax accounting basis is a cash cost or accrual account. GST calculations monthly, quarterly, annually. You can see the payee installments is an amount or rate. You can see that the payee installment cycle. And then you can see all the other information, and then you can click save. After that, you can click create BAS. Inside here, you can select the filing year and the period. So for example, you can select the month, you can select the year, and then you can click OK. After that, you can see your goods and services tax. You're paying G tax withheld, and you can input the information like total salary, wages, and other payments. You can put in the amount withheld from payments shown in W1, amounts withheld where no ABN is quoted, other amounts withheld, excluding any amount shown in W2 and W4, your fringe benefits, installment amount. So for example, you can put in 105, then you have your estimated tax for the year, here, and then you can put in the varied amount payable, amount for the ATO, reason code for variation. So is it 21, 22, 23, 24, financial market changes. And then you can see the amounts you owe to ATO, like wine, luxury cars, payee tax withheld, FTB, fuel tax credit, total amount you owe to the ATO. And then you can put in the wine, luxury cars for amounts that ATO owes you, or luxury cars and tax refundable credit from FTB installments, fuel tax credit, and then you can see the total amount for ATO owes you. And any payment more than 8B. Yes, and then your payment amount in the report. And if you put more, then you can see you have a refund amount. So how much you have to pay or how much you have to get refunded inside the system. And then you can click save and then save it. After that, you can click on the three dots and you can edit it. And I can view details here so I can see all the breakdowns. So for example, these are my sales invoices. These are my export sales, my non-capital purchases, capital purchases. So I can see the total breakdown here. A1 GST on sales, B1 GST on purchases. So all the information's there. And I can hide the view as well and click save. And that's a quick look.
Great. So now
Compliance.
Yes. So everyone who has been waiting for Australia compliance for some time, and I know I saw a few comments in.
I can't hear him.
Literally nobody on this stream is waiting for Australia compliance. I need to take David off the stream. His layout guy, can you check with David? His speaker is creating echo. Sorry, Saurabh, yeah, you were saying something.
Yeah, no, what I was saying was that I'd seen a few comments that people are waiting for Australia compliance. So now that it is in, I hope that you can go ahead and use that.
You know how far is Australia from US? Like the longest flight from LA is to Sydney. Like that's the longest they can fly. So I don't think at this hour there's somebody in US waiting for Australia compliance. But good that we got it. Quickly jumping to the next one, David, show the next demo quickly. Add that to the stream so I can throw it up. There you go. I will add you to the stream as well. Go ahead.
All right, so we're now at the multi-currency, the changes in the selection. A lot of people were complaining that they had to deactivate each one, which was quite painful. So now you can select your new currencies here. So when I select multi-currency, I can go here and I can choose which currency I want. So instead of trying to unselect them all, I can select which ones I need. I can also search the records here. So I go here, I can click on, for example, South African Rand and add it to it. I can then click Indian rupees and then I can save it. Then I can update. And now your currencies are updated. Next, we can go to settings and then we can go into currency. Now inside here, you can see all the currency that you selected is now visible. So, and you see your reporting currency, base currency is Canadian dollars. So you can see them all visible here, which ones that are visible, which ones are not, just like the ones you selected. I can then select which ones I want to activate, and I just click activate here, and it's now activated. I can select the activated ones, and I can deactivate up here as well. So you can see you can activate and deactivate multiple at a time. So you cannot change your base currency in the system. And you can see the icon. I can click on the icon, the eye, and it immediately activates. I can search for records here as well. For example, New Zealand. I can select it and the new Taiwan dollar and activate it. I can see all the information here. Yep, New Zealand dollar. I can change the rate up here, so I can see it's 0.09, and now it's 1.9. Wow, something happened. And then I can see the updated exchange rate here, and I can see the exchange rate's effective date and timestamp here as well. And then I can see here, I can view the rates, but it's deactivated. So you can see here, I cannot add in the rates. It's just see the historical rates when it's not activated. Now, if I go to, yep, you can see all these different currencies here that was activated. And then we can go to sell. And we can go to invoices. And let's click get paid. So inside here, if I click on the currency, I can see all the different currencies here, like SGD, USD, only the ones that I have selected. And that's a quick look at the new layout for multi-currency.
Excellent. Looks good. So again, context for some people that may not know why we are doing this, because there's a lot of controversy in the confines of a group. Come on, when we say controversy, doesn't mean any big issue in terms of our group. There were people that were not happy with the multi-currency design, and I completely accepted that failure in UI where you had to like literally unselect a lot of currencies to get to your currency. So we have redesigned that, and we are releasing that now. So I'm not sure if many American users or Canadian users use multi-currency beyond the view that beyond the US dollar or the Canadian dollar. In fact, US users would not use multi-currency at all, except the standard US dollars. So to give you perspective, why multi-currency is very important to us in Singapore, in Southeast Asia, there are like 9 countries, and then there's India, so there are 10 countries, and you end up transacting with either of these countries almost on a daily basis. You would have a small office in Singapore, you would have a back office in Malaysia, which is just across the street. Malaysia is like literally 5 minutes from Singapore, if you're lucky to get your exit done at the checkpoint, but it's literally 5 minutes if you're at the right time, if you're driving at the right time of the day. So 5 minutes across, and you will have your factories in Malaysia. Then Indonesia is half an hour by boat, an hour by plane to the capital city. So you would end up transacting in a lot of these countries, and every country has their own currency. So Southeast Asia is much like Europe, except we don't have, no, not like Europe. Actually, not like Europe at all. There are many countries. That's the only thing, geography-wise, like Europe. But every country has their own tax structure. Every country has their own currency. Every country has their own compliances. Like Malaysia has FST, Singapore has GST, Indonesia has VAT, and so on. So this is very important for this region. It's not so important for US. It's also important for India, where a lot of our consumers buy and sell, export their products outside of India. So I understand it's not very important for US, but if you want to do a global trade, well, good news is that we are fully equipped for you to scale beyond US. So that's the good news. Europe would also be just one currency, right? Euro.
Mostly, yes.
UK would be.
UK very soon will have a real need for multi-currency.
Are we showing the Yodlee demo? Because that's something that I think we showed last time, but we can show that once again. That's important for US customers as well. So Yodlee as well as Play are 2 options now for a US bank to integrate, right? Am I right, Saurabh?
Primarily played for US. I think there are close to 10,000 plus financial institutions available through Played for US and Canada.
Okay. Very helpful. Yeah, I just read a note that my sneezing is coming. As you can hear my sneeze, that's because I've not been well for a few days. Singapore has been unusually cold, from 40 degrees to 37 degrees, and I have got some cold and not been well for a few days. So yeah, this is recovering. No COVID, thankfully. Singapore has 0 COVID cases, so that's a good news. But yeah, a little bit of cold. So moving on to the next part of the demo, and please keep your questions coming. We'll be very happy to answer your questions. So moving on to the next part is CRM Microsoft Contact. So David, go ahead with the Microsoft demo.
Yeah, so just to give some background on what this is integration with Microsoft And this is the first step in the number of integrations that we will add with Microsoft. So here now you can get your contacts and everything just by connecting your Microsoft account to Deskera. And in future, how this will expand is, I mean, there are so many possibilities with Microsoft, right? There is Microsoft Teams, there is Microsoft Calendar, and I mean, SharePoint, OneDrive, so many options that will become available now that we have the mechanism to connect your Microsoft ID.
Yeah. Before we start, or rather, once we show the demo, please leave a comment. How many of you use Microsoft as your email provider versus, let's say, Gmail or a third-party provider? How many of you use Microsoft as your main email provider? And when I say Microsoft, obviously Microsoft Outlook, or you can use Microsoft's free tools or Microsoft Office 365, which is a paid tool. So how many of you use Microsoft? And then this will give us a good idea of our integration and how this helps. So over to David now.
All right. So inside here, you can start by adding or importing your contacts. If you click import contacts, you can then select people or organizations. And we have the ability to import using Excel sheets or by, now connecting to Microsoft 365. So before you would just upload via Excel, you'd fill out the template and import. But now you can click on Microsoft 365, click there, and then you can see the account. So inside here, you can see that this Gmail account is connected to Microsoft 365. You can disconnect it if required. Yep, you can click disconnect. Then after that, you can connect the account, or you can add another account based upon what you require. So you click connect account. And after you click connect account, you have to enter your Microsoft password. So inside here, you just input, you can see this is your Gmail account. You're just inputting your Microsoft password.
So just to clarify that.
And then you sign in.
Yeah. So David, that's not a Gmail account, but that's the Microsoft ID. You can sign up for a Microsoft account.
And after you sign in, you're now connected. And then you can go.
I think David can't hear you because
and there, yeah, you can disconnect or connect now.
So he can't hear
you.
you.
And then you can click next.
He's on a mission, man. Let him do it.
After that, you can see the mapping. You click next. And you can see the mapping. It's just like when we uploaded our cells. So you can see the contact names are mapped. The organization name is mapped. You can see the different emails. Address is mapped. You can see the owner name is mapped there as well. So you can see all these different fields are now mapped, just like you would do with an Excel. And you can see contact name, labels, and all that information there. Then yes, so you can see the email address there, and then you can click next. Then after that, you can see the information has been imported. So from those people, you can see the information there, and you can confirm it. That's been pulled in from Microsoft 365. Then after that, you can see here your contacts that have been uploaded or added. And you can see here a little box. That little box there is a symbol that shows that it was imported through Microsoft 365 inside there. So you can see the two people, and you can see the companies here as well with this information. And then let's click next. And now let's actually go to Microsoft 365 and let's check out people inside there. So we're just going there directly. You see the account Microsoft.com. And then inside here, you can see all this information. Let's click on the dice or the button there, and let's click on all apps, and let's go to people. Once inside there, the screen is opening up. And if it's your first time logging in, you'll have to put in your first name, last name, birth date, and of course your year. So for example, maybe 1980. Yep, and then you just click next. And then inside here, you can see your different people. So let's click on contacts, and then you can see your Bob and John A, just like the same people we had in Deskera Sales that just came in. So if we click on Deskera Sales, you can see John and Bob A. You can see here the test company has come in as well. And you can see the company here is Deskera as well in the system. Yep, and that's a quick look at contacts in Microsoft. I mean, how to connect Microsoft integration.
Nice. So, David, thank you. I understand you have some speaker issue, echo issue. Somesh, can you just go down and check with him on the speaker issue? Coming back, there's a question April is asking, and this is a very important question. Where are we with Shopify and Amazon Central? So we have the Shopify integration ready for release. Shopify wants us to add their payment. We discussed this in one of the last webinars. They want us to add their payment system to our product. Unless we add their payment to our product, they won't allow the Shopify integration to release. We decided not to fight that, and we're building the payment integration with Shopify in our app in Deskera itself. Once that is ready, Shopify's policy is that if you use Shopify, they want you to see Shopify's payment as an option for you to use any platform that Shopify works with. So we are adding that payment option in Deskera. It's taking a little bit more time because payment itself, we don't do native integration with any payment providers, at least till we work with Shopify. I think we have just done TransferWise. So we are releasing that together with Shopify integration. It's going to take a little bit more time, a couple of weeks. And we are also working on Amazon Seller Central integration. So these are two things that we're working on. We wanted to release Australia, Canada first as per our roadmap. So if you look at our roadmap, you will see geographies listed for release before the end of year. And I think Australia, Canada, and UK were the geographies listed for release before the year. So we are trying to meet that deadline. And the next thing, once the geographies are out, is going to be the Amazon integration and the Shopify integration. Shopify integration is done, as I said. It's just a payment integration that we are working towards. The other thing that I want to bring up on Google side is Google has stopped, our application has stopped sharing their emails with third-party providers like us. So they don't allow third-party providers like us to look at their emails. So it's hard to integrate with Google. They want us to do, some security audit and make sure we have to spend like $100,000 to get that done, in short. And we'll get that done once we have other things that we have lined up that are released. So Google has made it difficult for providers like us to integrate with their email. I understand it was very easy earlier on to integrate with Google, but it's getting increasingly hard to integrate with Google. So that's why we came up with Microsoft integration, a full integration, so that users who use Microsoft at least can use that without hassle, and then we can go back to Google. But Google is going to take a little bit of time. It's not in our control anymore, so we have to talk to Google, and it's very bureaucratic. So it's a nightmare basically. There is a question on Microsoft Sales Excel. Oh yeah, that's not a question. It's just a suggestion. Yes. So we'll also integrate with these tools of Microsoft soon. I know you're not suggesting that, but I'm just bringing it up. So with that, hopefully we'll have Shopify and Amazon in the next few weeks. Team is working on Amazon full integration. We have some learning from WooCommerce integration. In fact, Saurabh, you want to share what did you learn from the WooCommerce integration? I mean, we did it very quickly. We released that, but I think there are a lot of learning from that experience. When I say learning, I basically mean there are a lot of things missing in that product.
So yeah, I mean, there are many people actually who have multiple WooCommerce websites.
Yes.
they want to connect multiple WooCommerce sites to the Deskera account and be able to track that. I mean, it is possible to track it if you're doing it manually, but to do it automatically will need some work. Then what people are also looking for and what we don't have right now is the inventory count going from Deskera to WooCommerce. We
Why is
get
that?
the product details.
Why is that an issue?
So if I have my store and I'm, let's say, selling something, I want to show how much I have in stock, and that will, that information is stored in Deskera, so Deskera can send that across. So these are some of the use cases.
Why is that an issue with us? Like, why can't we send information back?
We can just need to put somebody on it.
Okay, so it's not a technical challenge, just an engineering challenge, and we released that without that integration.
Correct. We did most of the integration is one way from WooCommerce to Deskera, but we're not doing Deskera to WooCommerce. So we need to add more use cases for Deskera to WooCommerce, especially sending the inventory count back, and also allow the connection of multiple WooCommerce websites, and then use that tag to differentiate different orders that might appear in your Deskera screen.
Is
So
that
both of
are we
these,
doing that now? We are releasing an update hopefully in the next few weeks.
yeah, I think we will pick that up once we have finished what we have in the current development pipeline for these
Okay.
weeks.
Okay, so maybe that's one thing that we need to sort of prioritize and get out. But more importantly, is Amazon Central, Shopify, and WooCommerce. Next few weeks we should, once Australia, Canada, and UK and US are fully released, we'll focus on these few items exclusively because a lot of our users are going to use these platforms day in day out,
So
especially Shopify. Especially Shopify.
one interesting thing is that for Amazon integrations, we need to integrate separately with each country that it is available in. I mean, it's not like a central integration. So, but yeah, the first one, if we do it quickly, then the later ones can follow a lot quicker. It may take some time for the first one to get all the authentication, etc., set in. But so yeah, I mean, it's not a one-time task. You have to do it for
I mean,
multiple
start with
countries.
US first, right? So that's why US is easier. You can start with US,
Yeah,
Shopify, US, Amazon integration.
correct.
Great. With that, we move to the next part of SMTP, user defined support campaign. David, I'm going to add you, so please go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So first, now you can define your own SMTP by creating a campaign. So first thing, you would have to go and create a campaign. In the system. Okay, so now you click campaign. You're going to input the campaign name like demo campaign, subject, demo campaign. You can choose the category's name. You can select your segment. Currently, there's one member in here, and you can click next. Then after that, you can select your email template. So you can see your email template here. You can add your contact information, which is required by the CAM Spam Act. You can save it, save and continue. After that, click next. You can then put in the sender name and the sender email address. And you can see here, Deskera email services here, or you can use my own. So by clicking here, you can use your own. And you click here, and then you can put in your sender name. So this is what name you want to show. Then you can put in the email address. Inside here, you put in your username, put in your password. And you put in your server. So for example, smtp.outlook.com. You put in the port, and then you can save it. And after that, your email campaign has been added successfully. So I can see Sachin S, email, port, server, and I've checked that here. And I can add additional servers if I require, or additional emails to connect through here as well. Sender name, sender email address, information here. I can send now or schedule for later, publishing date, publishing time, based on the different timings here. Timings here. And then I can click schedule and it'll be scheduled. So the key thing here is that with our Deskera email service, there's a limit on how many emails you can send. But when you use your own email, then I believe there is no limit. So inside here, you can see demo campaign, uncategorized, published date, sent for the information, and then you can go to your email and see that accordingly. So that's how you set it up.
Cool. Can we go to the next one?
Saurabh,
David?
anything you'd like to add?
David, can you hear me? Hello? Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. So to add to the setup here now.
I'm just taking David off this camera guy. Can you have David remove his camera? So just don't have his camera anymore. Sorry, Saurabh, go on.
Yeah. So now with the option to add your own SMTP servers to send out email campaigns, the one advantage is that you're not restricted by email limits in Deskera. So I mean, if you're using your own SMTP, you can send
April
out.
is asking how does Gmail not being very integrated, how does it affect users? So the answer to that is that with SMTP, full SMTP integration, so you can now use Gmail through SMTP integration, and in campaigns and in all parts of the product. So there's no real limitation, but having an easy integration is basically a very good, it's a good feature, right? So we are not able to provide native Gmail integration, so you'll have to do all these settings yourself and set up SMTP and all this yourself, and that creates a little bit of hassle. Otherwise, it's there's no challenge with SMTP integration. Now you can use any server. You can set up your own server and send emails from that server without having to use our service for integration, right, Saurabh? Sorry.
That is correct. Yeah. So so far, I mean, the only way to send out campaigns was to use the Deskera email service, and with that were some limits on how many number of emails you could send out, etc. But with the SMTP option available now, you are no longer subject to those limits because it's your SMTP. You can use it as much as you want. Obviously, I mean, my recommendation would always be to use it wisely and not, get your IP blacklisted. That is important. But yeah, I mean, it's more power to you.
Ooh, IP blacklist. Okay, with that, we will quickly go to the next part of our demo, which is workflow management. So, David, do you want to show workflow management, please? Adding you to the stream. There you go. Yeah.
So, for example,
He's off the stream.
information, I can just drag and
David,
drop,
David,
send email.
David, you have to repeat.
Under notifications, just drag and connect it, click edit. I can put in the from.
David, you have to start from scratch.
Address.
Camera guy, please talk to David and
Start from
ask him to
start.
start from scratch.
Okay, 1 second.
How can you hear David?
Okay, so for example, in CRM, you can create contacts over here, click the pencil. You can put in your connection variable name like trigger and click it. Then you can click on logic. You can just drag and drop notification, send email. Then you can click and just drag and drop the connection here. Click the edit button, put in the from. Email address, put in the to. So just click on create contact. I'm just dragging over email here. And I can put in the subject Welcome to Deskera. I can put in the message like new contact has been added for, and I just put in the phone number here. Okay, added with phone number and click done. Then I can go to apps, click CRM and create activity. Again, I just drag and drop the connector and click edit. I put in the activity name, call with, and I create the contact and I just drag and drop the name there. Just click on it. I put in the date, I put in the time. So these are all fields that allow me to have it automatically generated. Then I click save. And then after that, I click contacts. I create a new contact here, put in the contact name, put in the phone number, put in the email address, and then I can click save. Then I can now click on activities. Click on the list view, refresh the screen. So it's good to refresh. That way you get all the latest and greatest stuff. So let's click on list view again, and you can see the activities have been created. And I can see an email's been sent.
Nice.
And that's a quick look at the workflow.
Excellent. Thank you, David, for showing the workflow.
I expected, drops in your eyes, when you saw that demo.
Drops in my eyes. Oh, crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it ready in any, as in I never promised workflow in the overall pipeline of things, but we got it ready quickly. That's very good. And for users on this webinar and users who will, like 200 users who will see this after the webinar, this is very important. The workflow management is very important because this gives you a tool to basically program Deskera on your own. The idea is that you can program any part of the product based on what you need and write automations and write more new workflows. So if you have something that you want to customize and you really want a new form, we'll build ways to build new forms. By the way, we haven't shown you the new form designer. We'll probably show that to you on Monday. Saurabh, take note. I think we should have shown that this week, but once it's more ready next week, let's show that to you so you can connect your form designer with this automation and get your forms filled, get your forms in the workflow. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal if you want to do any consulting or if you want to do any if you have a larger company and you want to use more strength, you want to have more features to customize Deskera. So it's a big deal. Yeah, I've been trying to do this for 10 years here.
So that's why I said.
If you guys go to a URL jsonic.org, jsonic.org, camera guy, please write it down for the feed. This is a project that I worked on with my team 10 years ago, 2011, I think, 9 years ago. And the idea behind JSonic was, hey, do you want to share the screen? I can, you can probably show that as well. Won't be a bad idea.
Yeah, let me do that quickly.
So the idea behind JSonic was to build what used to be called as a BPM, a business process management tool. And we had built a lot of it in the previous platform. And we are now bringing all of those features over in the new one. We'll just show that to you in a bit as soon as Saurabh gets his sharing sorted out.
Yeah, there you go.
Ah, nice. So this is 10 years old, and zero coding was not a very well-known You can stay at the top. It was not a very well-known thing back then. Zero coding is a big deal now, but zero coding wasn't a big deal back then. So this was a tool to manipulate processes and make your own workflows interfaces, and we're going to do this now in the new platform. So yeah, it was kind of half finished, not fully finished last time. So we'll spend more time on this and get it out. We'll have some more use cases for this, hopefully, once it's ready. But with that, let's move on to the next part of the demo. David, back to you. Can you hear us? Hopefully you can. Back to you. What are we showing here? What are we showing? We're showing, oh, we are done with the demo. Oh, so we're going to go back to books. Okay. We don't have any questions, so we can take up the books demo. So David, go ahead with the books demo, not the CRM demo, but the books demo. Our camera guy is slightly lazy and he hasn't changed the title. Camera guy, please change the title from CRM demo to books demo. No, he's not. Okay. Are we showing the book demo?
Yeah, we are showing the books.
Age receivable, the
he's on.
bills,
He
the
was
bank
on.
account.
David
You can
was
also
on
click here
all
and
the
choose your
time.
banks based on which banks you're using.
It's a
I can
one-way
see the
channel.
net cash flow, the profit and loss, all from a glance on the screen. And if I click on the
if you
company
try
name
right
itself,
now,
I can go to new organization. So if you are creating a company for the first time, this is probably what you'll see. So I can put in the organization name. So,
And this is the camera guy telling him that
is it okay?
Yeah, please go ahead, David.
Go ahead. Okay.
Camera guy, can
All right.
David use your desktop, please? Because I understand you're using your desktop and David is using another desktop. Can you use
Okay, then
your
you can
machine?
put in the organization name. It's like Friday PTE Ltd.
TGIF. So
You can put in the financial start date. So inside here, I can select my financial start date. So sometimes it's the same as the calendar date. Sometimes it can be different. It's all based upon different companies and their different requirements. So for example, I can make this, let's see. Let's click here. Let's click on January. Let's click on January 1st. And this is book beginning date. So this is the date where you're actually going to start inputting transactions to the system. Everything before this is your openings. The reason for this is that you may not want to upload all your transactions into the system. You know, it can be quite tedious, very difficult, and quite painful. And trying to get the profit and loss sheet and the balance sheet to match is also quite difficult as well. So for example, it's usually the first of the month because financial month-end closing will happen. The accountants will have all your P&L and all your information there. And then you just upload all your openings to your chart of accounts, all your inventory and your stock levels at that time, and any opening invoices and opening bills, meaning anything that's not been paid or still outstanding. So this is your book beginning date. You have your tax registry here. So this is where I can select my tax registries, for example, United States. And I can select my reporting currency here as well. So I can select which one I require. And then I can create, try demo, or I can click later. After creating your company, you can then go down here and see your company information here. So inside here, I can see my tax registry, my date form. I can see my company logo. Cool, a bus. So, the Deskera bus. Inside here, I can see my financial start date, my book beginning date, my reporting currency, and of course, the multi-currency is enabled. I can set my company compliance. I don't collect taxes, or I do collect taxes, and my tax ID and the state where you can collect it. So for example, this is for the US, and address settings. Under settings here, this is where you can create your users. Put in your unit of measurement. You can see your different taxes, your payment terms, your audit log. You can see your import log here. This is where you can see your currency. This is where you can add in your custom fields. So I can see all my custom fields here. We can create custom fields. And you can see the new URL. You can see text box, multi-select, drop-down, number. So, for example, text box could be like remarks. I can set as mandatory. I can put in the max length and any default value. Please fill in this data or this field, for example. And then, of course, I can click availability. I can decide contacts, products, accounts, journal entries, quotations, invoice, orders, and bills. We also have the ability to do numbers. So maybe dimensions, length. And then I can put in the decimal precision here. And we also have multi-select drop menu. So we have our drop down here, over here. And we can then think of it like outlets, or you can think of it like departments. I can add new options here. So for example, maybe the first drop down value will be Los Angeles. And I can do something like Toronto. And maybe New York, for example. And I can select the visibility. I can delete it. I can set it as default. And then after that, I can go next, and I can add the availability here to what I want. Now let's go to buy. So inside here, this is where you can buy different items. And of course, we have our orders, our bills, and our archived here. So I can click here, create new, and I can create a new order or a new bill or a new expense bill. I can click add contacts. And I just can do a space bar to see all my contacts, or I can just type in the name. For example, Jim's Electronics, add a product. Maybe I want to buy some Apple computers. I can put in the quantity that I want. So maybe like 10 computers. Any discount I require, I can click the 3 dots, and I can update custom fields or delete the items. I can go up here, and I can manually input, select a number range, or default number range, or I can create a number range here based upon my requirements. And inside here, this is where you can create your custom number range. And this is where you can put in your prefix. This is where you can put in your prefix, your separator, your display digits, how many digits you wish to display, your separator, and any suffix that you have. And of course, you can save it. I'm just going to press cancel since I've already created that one. Also here, I can see my global custom fields. So for example, supplier code, which project this relates to, project A or B, for example, and outlets. And I can save it. We have our multi-currency options here. And I can go select my currency. And I can see which currency I want to change it to. You can see I have not deactivated all the currencies with that wonderful new feature. And inside here, I can update it. So maybe to what I require. And just update the currency. I can set it as recurring. So inside here, I can set it as recurring. And by clicking here, and I can set it recurring as yearly, monthly, weekly, or custom. I can do the first document date, end date, or never ends. After that, I can click save. So now I can see it here. It's due in 30 days. I can see the amount, not received. I can click the 3 dots. I can receive the goods. So inside here, I can put in the receive date, and I can select the warehouse here. But if I'm not having a lot of warehouses, or I only have a single warehouse, I can just click bill, and I can convert and auto receive. So that means I can skip that step. I can just create a bill directly and receive the goods. After that, I can click on bills. I can see the information here. I can click pay. I can click on the 3 dots. And you can see here I can create a purchase return, copy, see the design, print, attachment, apply debit, apply prepayment, set as recurring, archive or delete the bill. So for now, let's just click on payment. And inside here, I can see my currency. And I can see the pay from. So my banks are determined based upon my currency here. So I can see bank is specifically for euro. But if I click here, I can also change the bank. Change the currency here. So for example, if I want to go up here and select USD, you'll notice payment from has changed, and I can select the bank. Select the payment type, bank transfer, choose the date. And you can see also the amount has changed as well. And then I can click next. I can update the exchange rate here if I want to, because the bank will tell me the exchange rate usually. And then I can pay and close. So now that's paid. Next, let's go to sales. Inside here, we have our quotes, our invoices, and our archived. I'm just going to quickly go directly to invoices and create a new invoice here. And you can see under invoices, we have our invoice reminder, our import, and our export. I'll show you the invoice reminder after I create a new invoice. And I can sign the invoice fields. Click here. Let me select my contact. For example, Austin Circuits. Let's click here. And let's add in the Apple computer. I can input the quantity. So let's just sell the 10 that we had originally. See the information. And I can save. So now that's been created. Now, if I click here, you can see the invoice reminder. And you can see here, I can enable invoice reminder, and I can choose days before due date, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, after due date, 7 days, repeat every 30 days or 3 days. So I can activate or deactivate which ones I want. And I can also see the email preview here by clicking on it. I can see invoice reminder, dear valued customer, all this information. Next, I want to go to the design. So I think there's some cool stuff that's happened recently. So inside here, you can see the information. You can see all this data. You can add a company logo. But the cool thing that's been added here is that now you can remove your signature. So by clicking this, the signature is now removed. So I believe that was requested to hide the signature. Also, hide discount. So if you don't want to show discount, you can hide it. And you can also hide tax as well. I can set my theme just like before. So for example, if I want it red, and I can also upload a company logo. And if I want to add additional information, such as image, text, signature, and watermark, this is where I can add it in. For example, here, I can add the text. Example, paid. And of course, I can change normal, italic, bleak. The font, do I want a bold, size, 20, for example, or change it to something smaller based on what I require. So I just wanted to show you that. I think this is pretty cool that's been added. And then, of course, I can email, download, print, share, and go to Deskera. So that's a quick look at design. And you can see, I just closed it and I reopened it. And you can see the changes that I've done to my template stay the same, which I think is pretty cool. The color, the invoice, the signature's been removed, show discount, show tax. All right. Also, if I just click on the 3 dots here, you can see also we have fulfillment. And inside fulfillment, we have 3 different ways of fulfillment. We have direct fulfillment, pick, pack, ship, and drop ship, which will just record the information inside here, so you can choose which one you'd like. We also have email. So inside the email, I can send a copy to myself. And if I've connected to Stripe, I can insert a payment link here. So if I click here, you can see the payment link would be added. Also, I just want to show you in apps. So I'm just going to go apps quickly here. So inside here, we have Veeam connection. So this is where you connect to Veeam. So this is how you can do payments and receive payments from your contact directly. So inside here, you can connect to Veeam. You configure. The configuration is for your chart of accounts. And inside here, I can see my sales invoices and send via Veeam. And purchase invoices here, I can send via Veeam as well. We also have PayPal as well here. So if I open PayPal, I can also send out my sales invoices here to receive payments. So if I go to invoices, I can see my invoices here. And I can see my PayPal invoice here after I send it. So I can click on here. I can open it on up. I can see the amount that needs to be paid, due date, invoice, total amount here. And I can click this link here, and it'll ask me to sign in. Yep, so I just want to quickly show you that. So these are the different ways you can actually receive payment from your customer. So let's click Get Paid here. For Austin Circuits, you can see the amount, the currency. I can select the deposit to, I can select the payment type. For example, bank transfer or card. I can choose the date. Any reference number. I can click Next. You can see the total amount and I can receive it. All right. So next, let's just go to Contacts. Oh, okay. Let's pause for questions.
Great. Thank you, David. So we will pause for, not just pause for questions. I think we have some questions. So we will go to this layout. And the one question that is being asked is this question about point of sale entry option. So one interface for invoice payment. Saurabh, what do you have to say about this?
I think our mobile app is very well placed to do this.
Boy.
We,
That card? Okay.
So
Yeah, please go ahead. Please finish your chain of thought.
yeah, so I mean, using the mobile app to serve as a point of sale app is
For e-commerce, this is not point of sale, physical point of sale. This is e-commerce, man. I think you just read point of sale and you started your
No,
answer.
even for e-commerce, right? Even for e-commerce. So, I mean, if you
Single invoice payment screen. That's all they're asking. They're not asking for point of sale application. A single invoice and payment screen. That's different from point of sale application.
so yeah, so that can also be done in both web and this. We have segregated it for now, but I mean, a few UI tweaks can make that happen. I mean, we don't even need to build anything new; just a few UI tweaks will allow that to happen.
Why do you have payment as a different screen?
So typically, you send the invoice and then you receive the payment afterwards. Whereas when you are in a point of sale environment, then it happens immediately.
Maybe mobile can help here. I don't know. Maybe it can help. It'll be useful.
Yeah, I mean, even now recording the payment is a one-click process. So, but yeah, I mean, it can be even further optimized.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Second question is something that I'll take. We are revamping our user interface for service companies. So in a few weeks, you will see a new interface for service companies. So if you're a service company, or we'll give you an option to select there'll be some option that you can select to start Deskera as a service company. And when you see a service, when you see the interface, your service options will be highlighted and the rest will be hidden. So you won't see a point of pick, pack, ship. You won't see warehousing. You won't see a lot of other things that you see now. So this is something that we are working towards. So yes, ship to will be hidden in that interface. So there is a upgrade coming up in the next few weeks that will have a different interface for service companies and a different interface for manufacturing or pick, pack, ship. And for existing users, we probably have to give them some options somewhere. But for new users, we'll ask them upfront when they're setting up. If you're a service company, you will only see those options. You won't see the rest of the options. And then some people will ask, can I enable and disable? So answer is yes. You can go back to your options and you can probably enable and disable those questions. Is there a way we can have both? Yes, that's what I'm saying. So you can enable options back in there will be some options somewhere which you can click and enable or disable based on what you want. But on the left-hand side of the navigation bar, you will only see what you want to see and you can disable the rest. So that's what we are working towards.
So the option will be with the user rather than, it's not, it's not like that if you choose service, then you cannot switch later on or vice versa.
Yeah.
And you will have the option to configure your labels and which fields which modules you want to see or you don't want to see.
Yeah. And there are two more questions from our friend Sachin Nair. One question is, can we change the base currency? We don't have that option. I don't think we're going to work on that option because, as I said, a use case is not for people who change currencies all the time. So I think that's just going to add to the feature glut. We'll probably not have that. But your next question about security is well taken. We are working on discrete identity management. So we'll have discrete user identity management built into the product. Again, we're working on this. So we'll have more discrete security policies. So are we going to...
Yeah, just to add on to that, why changing base currency, etc., is not done usually in accounting is, especially if you're operating in a multi-currency environment, then all your transactions have got related exchange rates associated.
His question was, even if you don't have any transaction, can I change that?
No, as soon as you set up base, multi-currency, if you have the multi-currency option, then you cannot change your base currency once it is set.
Okay. So with that, we will move to the next part. I think there's a follow-up on point of sale. I use point of sale in that sense that allows recording of sale on a single process read. Suggestion on this is, we want you to try the mobile app and just try it out, see if it works or not. We'll set up a demo with you. If it works for you, we'll probably have these features on the mobile app simply because they're more mobile. And you can, if we invest more time on that mobile app, on this feature, then you can use it in more use cases. You can apply that in more use cases. For instance, you can do that, anywhere your customer is. So you are, let's say, delivering a product and you have a delivery person. If we have that mobile app with the delivery person, they can transact with the end user or end customer, not end user actually, anywhere they are. So mobile app has a lot of hope and growth. We are looking for use cases for mobile apps, and if this is something that fits your use case, we'll want to spend more time on it and work with you on it. So if that makes sense, would prefer for you to use the mobile app more often and see if that solves your use case or not. With that, David, I think we go back to your demo for CRM. You want to take a look at CRM, or there's one more question for the Moonvoice. I think it should be great if we have a small checkbox to hide to shift field. Yes, that's what we're doing. So we'll have checkboxes for the next left nav bar as well, and some of these features as well. Okay, so not many questions on the list. Going back to David. David, go back on your demo, please. I want to add you to the stream. So please go ahead with the demo.
All right, so just quickly to show you in contacts, when you click new contact here, you can see the name, the auto numbering format, email, and this is your statutory compliant. I just want to let you know that based upon different countries, this screen will change based upon what is required in your country, the statutory compliance in your country. Next, I just want to quickly go to products. And we have our import function, export function, our new products here. I just wanted to show you that we have 3 different types. We have non-tracked, which is our service products. You can think of it like gardening, gardener, aircon repair, electrician, plumber, web designer. You can see our tracked products here. So this is like your apples and oranges, your laptops. And we also have our bill of materials here for your assembly. And just to quickly show in the bill of materials, we have the ability to add additional costs. Inside accounting, just to quickly show, this is where you can have your chart of accounts, your journal entries, your opening balance, your debit notes, your credit notes, expense, and deposits. And we have an import feature for journal entries. Inside banks, this is where you can see your different bank accounts. And this is also where you can click here and connect. Currently, if you click on the connect, we have Saltage and Plaid, but Yodlee will be coming. Under reports, this is where you can see your profit and loss balance sheet, your cash flow statement. Okay, so these are all where you have your reports. So now let's go to CRM. So inside here, I can see my organization, my people, my deals lost, my deals won. If I click on here, I can change it to last 6 months, any upcoming activities. I can also update to the last 6 months, deals won and lost. I can see all the information right on the screen. And any tickets created. So inside settings, this is where you have your users. This is where your teams are created, so you can control what contacts and what deals they can see. You have your custom fields here. So just like in ERP, you can create your different custom fields on the screen. So if I click here, just to show you, you have your 3 types: number, text, and drop down. This is where you can connect your email. This is where you can turn on your guide. This is where you connect your tickets and also choose your ticket views and import log. And if you have not synced your contacts yet, you can sync your contacts. But this is only in cases where you had CRM first and ERP, and they were not connected. If you create now any contacts, they will automatically sync to the ERP system. Now let's go to contacts. So inside here, I can, excuse me, I can see all my different contacts, my people, my organization, and I can create a contact on this screen. And I can put in the contact name, like, let's see, April Computers. I can select the organization, label, phone number, email address, and owner based upon what I want. Fascinating. Looks like it's a little slow today. Let me just click the refresh button. We also have the ability to import contacts. As you saw, we can import via Excel, and soon we'll be able to import via Microsoft. We also have our campaigns over here. So this is where you can create your campaigns. We have our marketing and our segments. Let me just close this. Sorry, just reloading. You just click on the three dots and click on Deskera Sales. I shouldn't have opened it earlier. Maybe it timed out. So inside here, we have our Deskera Sales, and it'll show you again the dashboard. Okay. So inside here, we have our campaigns. Oh, okay, allow. And we have our segments, our emails, and our forms. So inside our forms, this is where I can see all our different forms. I can click on the three dots, and I can edit, copy, delete, and I also can add a new form up here. So let me just edit it. And inside here, I can see all my different contact fields and my custom fields here. And I can just drag and drop and select which one's mandatory and which one's not. Also, just for your information, drop-down is currently not available. So if you have a custom field that's a drop-down, it will not show up here. So just take note of that.
But yeah, that will be available. So, I mean,
I can also click on the fields and I can make it mandatory. So for example, I want the email mandatory. I want the contact name mandatory. And I want maybe remarks mandatory. And then I can just save and go next. Let me go back to edit. And inside here, this is where you can display your thank you message or redirect to another page, assign owner, assign sub-owner, show the visibility, or assign any labels and publish. So the key thing is for this is that when you add the form for a contact and it's there inside your web page and they fill in all the information, who's the person who has to follow up on this? Who's going to be the owner? Who's going to be the sub-owner? What should be the visibility? Who should actually be able to see this? Is it just the team can see or can everyone see? And what type of label is this? Are we considering this a cold lead, warm lead, hot lead, or any other label that you required? So it's a way to help identify it. And then, of course, you can publish it. And here's the code. So from this code, you can copy the code and put it in your web page. Next, we have our services here. And inside here, I can see my different guides, my different sections. I can see my articles. So for example, how to connect. And I can click on the three dots. I can edit, archive, or delete it. I can see all the information here. And you can see here, I can bold, italicize, underline, strike through, indent, numbering, bullets, change the font, link, and add a picture here. I can go here and decide the visibility. Is it signed in user or for everyone? What section it goes under, who's the author, and I can save it. If I want to publish it or unpublish it, you have to click this arrow and click publish or unpublish here. Next, we have our support. So inside here, I can see all my support tickets. I can see the subject, and I can just drill into the ticket here as well. Then I can see who's it signed to. I can change the assignee. I can select the type. Is it an incident, question, task, or problem? And what's the priority? Urgent, low, normal, or high. And I can see the previous conversations here with the client. And I can input any text and send the email out here as well. So for example, hi, David. Just following up. From David. And I can also do any internal notes here as well if I require to do. All right, so now let's create a deal. Since we've already seen a video of how to create campaigns earlier with the new SMTP integration, let's go here to deals. You can see I can add in a pipeline here. So I can create my own default pipeline with names, won and loss. Also, if you wish to edit your pipeline, you can click on this little pencil button here. Now, if I click the plus sign here, I can create a new deal. Or if I want to, I can go up there and create a new deal as well. So let's call this Friday deal. I can add a contact person here, or I can select an organization. So for example, maybe Johnny Electronics. You can see John Thomas is here. I can select the owner and the sub-owner. Maybe Marianne Moss. I can put in the deal value here. I can select the pipeline and the closing date and save it. After that, I can click here to drill in. If I want to edit the deal because I'm a terrible speller, I can click Edit Deal here. And then the information will pop up. I'll put in the correct spelling and save it here. I can see the owner, sub-owner, deal age. I can see any custom field information here. I can create a custom field. And if I'm connected to an email address, I can connect my email here, and I can log an email here as well. So I can just put in the contacted name, contacted email address here. And I just put in the email, for example, hi, and I can log it. And you can see the email's been logged. I can also create activities. And I can create an activity here. And I can see the call, meeting, task, deadline, email, or lunch. So for example, I want to do a call. I can even put any notes. I can select the timing. I can assign it to, for example, me. I can link to this contact, and I can select the contact here. So for example, John Thomas. And I can select the organization here. For example, Johnny Electronics. And I can send invitation to all attendees. And my activity is created. And when it's complete, I just click the checkbox here. Next, I can add any internal notes. I can see the log, and I can go back to deals. And then inside here, I can just drag and drop it. So for example, maybe appointment scheduled, qualified at buy, presentation scheduled, decision maker buy-in, contact sent. And if I want to, I can just drag and drop it right into close won or close loss, or I can drill in and also click up here, close deal won, deal lost here. So I'm just going to say deal won. Any activities? I can see here under activities, which was shown earlier. Okay, and that's a quick look at CRM. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, so let's pause here and take a look at some of the questions and comments that we have here.
Yeah, one question is when is Yodlee available? The other question is you are feature rich but very confusing. Okay. All right, this is so we had a very complicated platform previously. So we decided we'll make a simple platform this time, which will be very simple for users to use and will be very easy to follow. And we decided that those users will have a use case, and we made a use case and we made a platform based on that use case. That platform is the one you're seeing now. But when we released it, every user wanted more features. Look at this call. Everyone wants one more feature that they want. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. All I'm saying is when you add features and you get more users, then it gets complicated and gets confusing. So you're right about creating tutorials and test cases, use cases. Sorry, not test cases. Why would somebody write a test case for it for you? So we will get to that, but we haven't reached that point where we write use cases. We have a few more tweaks in the UI. Once the tweaks are done, we will write more use cases for web agency. Web agency would use it. Web agency would be a service example, right, Saurabh?
Correct.
Have you had a client for web agency before? Old software, new software?
I think there were a few, and yeah, I mean they just use services to create their products and then use
Yeah,
the
use case
report.
is basically invoicing. Major use case is invoicing.
Correct.
So we will have that very soon. But that's the irony of business software. You start with a very simple tool, and then you create more feature, and it creates complexity based on the fact that more users use it or want to use it.
Either die a hero or you live long enough.
Either you die a hero or become a complicated software. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think there is no one answer. Like FreshBooks is really easy to use, but it doesn't have any features. So if you want to go the FreshBooks way, or this the other software that got discontinued, Wave Apps, very easy to use, very simple to use, free in fact, right? So if you're in North America, why would you not use Wave Apps? So either you go the Wave Apps way, or you add more features and make it more feature rich. But in that case, it'll become more and more complex to use. So yeah, that's the problem. Do you have to okay, so there's a question on email. Did the email save to the log, or was it log function just a manually entered node?
So yeah, so in the demo, I think he's referring to the section in the demo when David entered
Yes.
or logged an email. So there are two ways to record your conversations with your contacts. One is through logged email, which is the manual logging mechanism, and the other is by connecting your email address. In which case, whatever that you are sending from there will actually go through your email, and if you get a reply, then that will also automatically come in there. So the log function is the manual logging function, and when you connect the actual email using the IMAP and SMTP configurations and whatnot, then it will automatically fetch the information or send you the, or I mean, then you will be able to actually carry out an email conversation through the system.
Do you have to manually enter the email?
If you have entered the email for your contact already and you use the connect email option, then no, because it will just pick the contact email address.
What would it take to have an eye contact with you? Because you don't have, you answer the question without an eye contact. You should look at the camera. Look at the camera and have eye contact, and then say what you just said. Because unless you have eye contact, I have trouble believing what you just said. I'm just kidding.
Thing
Yes.
I look at the screen, not the camera. So
Yeah, you've got to get used to this. So get used to looking at camera and then speaking, which is very hard and difficult. So I lose my chain of thought whenever I look at the camera. I lose my chain of thought, but then you get used to it. So practice that, because you have to do it twice a week for the rest of your, professional life in this company. One more question. So whenever I look at question, I have to look at my screen, so I can look at the camera. So I have to look at my screen, but I'll look at the camera very quickly. Okay, Sachina is sending a smiley. Thank you. So you don't have to manually enter the email at all, right? So it's going to be automatic if you use automatic way, and it's going to be manual if you use the manual way. Okay. One more question is, do you have to send the email from that section directly? I don't know.
I think those are leading questions. I mean, they are related questions to what Wes asked.
Okay, cool. Now we go back to one more thing. On payroll side, we have bi-weekly pay run. We have had that for a week now. We'll show that again. Bi-weekly pay run. Bi-weekly is not twice a month. I learned that very recently. So it was embarrassing to learn that very recently. But bi-weekly. First of all, why does US have bi-weekly option? Because I've never seen that option anywhere else in the world, even in UK or Australia or, of course, Southeast Asia, India. None of the other countries have this bi-weekly option. Why do you have bi-weekly option, like once in like 2 weeks, right? Once in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I
I think
guess.
it has to be the week, right? So Friday, if you end on Friday,
Yeah. So with biweekly, you end up getting 26 payments a year. With twice a month, you end up getting 24. So two extra payments.
yeah, it's more to do with the Friday
Correct.
of the week than anything else, right? So uh, you're just doing a twice, not twice. So don't say twice a month, please. Every other Friday, you do a payroll every other Friday. Have you seen any other complicated options anywhere in the world? Any other options of payroll?
Uh, no, I think pretty much all. I mean, if you have weekly, there is daily also. Daily,
Of
weekly,
course,
weekly, twice a month, and monthly.
bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly, I mentioned. So daily, weekly, bi-weekly, twice a month, and monthly.
What's the difference between fortnight, once a fortnight, and twice a month?
Uh,
And
uh,
bi-weekly.
I mean, if we get down to the brass tacks, then there can be a difference of 1 day. So very soon your cycle will be off if you use fortnightly, which is why people use twice a month generally, which is like 15th and the end of the month. It could be 30th, it could be 31st.
Okay, and we also have contractor pay run, right?
Yes,
Can we show that today?
absolutely.
Can you show that, because I think David can't hear us. He's going to be on his own. Like the moment he starts, it's like a recorded session. As far as he can record a session and just play it, why does he have to do it live? He can literally record it and we just play that. But
He's
you
a
got to
man on,
show.
he's a man on a mission. So
So let's show two things. We show contractor pay run and we show bi-weekly payroll, which is not twice a month. I know it's very ironic for Americans to, for them to hear me say that, but for us it's a new thing. So I'm just repeating that, so it enters a collective vocabulary. So back to you, David McGoldrick, and back to your demo. There you go. Please get started.
All right, so we're in the payroll screen, and I will cover biweekly payroll as well as contractor payroll as well in the system. So first, I just want to show you the dashboard though. So you can see last payroll. I can see the total earnings and deductions. I can see important dates, things to do, and year to date. So next, let's go to pay schedule. Inside here, we have our different pay schedules. So we can see our twice weekly, weekly, and monthly. Let me add the pay schedule here. And let's call this bi-weekly. Let's click here. And we can see the bi-weekly pay schedule here. And I can select the work week, last working day of the month, or what is the pay date. I can say last working month, okay. I can select the date, first pay date and work period. So I can say what period was the work period here. So maybe 1st to the 15th, for example. That's roughly about 2 weeks, or 14th, sorry, 14th. Apply. And is it applicable to all users or a specific user, or I can save it. So now I've created the biweekly payroll. And then I can go to payroll here. And I can click on pay run. So inside here, I can click add pay run. I can select the schedule. So for example, biweekly. We also have ad hoc here as well. Pay date. So this pay date would be on the 14th. First pay date, work period, applicable to all users, and I can process the payroll here. After processing the payroll, I'll be able to see all my different employees. So I can see here, for example, Jim Johnson. I can see his earnings, net pay, any additional payments, and I can see all the information here. I can see if people are getting paid hourly. as well. And I can see here any overtime as well. So if I click on this box, I can put in my overtime, 1.5 or 2. Now, if everything's good, I can click next. And then I can click process payroll. After the data populates, everything looks good. I can click process payroll. And I can click yes. Here, that everything is correct. Then I can view a summary here, and I can click finish. So in the summary, I can see all the information inside the screen. So I can see and make sure everything looks good. One last chance before I click submit. And then it's completed. So I can click finish here. And then it should be processed. Next, let's go to contractor pay run. So inside here, I can click on pay contractors. I can select the pay date. Actually, let me show you inside the contractor screen first because there's been some changes there. Let me first go to employee list. Let's go to contractors. So inside here, let me click on the 3 dots and click edit. So inside here, you can see the title, first name, middle name, last name, business name, email address, the address, city, zip code. The key thing is now we have the compensation details. Is it hourly or is it a fixed amount? And how much is that amount? And we also have the payment details here as well. So that way, when we go to payroll, that information is being picked up here. So if I click pay contractor, I select the pay date. So let's say I'm paying them today. Actually, no. Let me pay them on Friday to all contractors. And I process the payroll. The information will pop up here. So now you can see the fixed rate. Jimmy Brown has the $1,000 here. And for Jacob, he's hourly. So I can put in the hours here. So maybe he had a 40-hour work week, for example. Maybe he worked 23 hours. And then you can see the net pay should update to 230. I can also edit here. And I can add in components. So if there's any components I wish to add in, I can add them here as well. So for example, a bonus of $10, for example, and I can save it. And now the bonus has been added. Oh, sorry, I forgot to click add. Click edit. See that wonderful word there, add component? Please make sure you click it or nothing will show up. So let me click here, put in the $10 and add in the component here. And now the component's added up here as well, and you can save. After that, I can click next. And it's pretty much the same process. I can see the information here. I process payroll. It tells me make sure everything's 100% accurate. And then you can click yes. And then I can view the summary here, and I can click finish, and the contractor pay run has been completed. And of course, I can view the summary here as well. Now, if I click on, this is the one here. So view summary, and you can see this is the one that I just created with the 23 hours, the $10 bonus, and the amount. Next, just quickly, let's go to components. So inside here, this is where you can import the component values or add components. So you can put in the name like Christmas bonus. You can select the type. Is it a deduction or earning? Very sad if it's a deduction. And based upon your statutory requirements, you'll see compliance. So this depends on which country you're in. And for example, US, you have pre-tax and post-tax here. We have benefits. So inside here, this is where you can add your benefits. And I can put in the benefit name, put in pre-tax, post-tax, employer contribution, employee contribution, annual max contribution, apply to users, and activate and save it. We also can see all our employees here. So just to quickly show your employee information, this is where you can add an employee. And you can put in the first name, last name. Actually, let me just edit one that has all the information in. That way it'll be just a bit quicker. So I'm just going to edit Kelly Smith. And inside here, you can see the name, you can edit it, the phone number, designation, date of joining, give confirmation, address, full-time, part-time, casual, shift work, probation, outworks. Basic salary, is it per month, per year, or per hour? Any payment method. After that, this is where you can select the different components and the amount. So if I do not require a component, I can just delete it. And I can put in the amount here if required. Click next. And inside here, this is your statutory compliance. So based upon which country you're from, this screen will change based upon the compliance. So this is for US. So you can see Social Security, EIC, dependents claim in dollars. If 2C is marked in W4, then click here. And you can see Fed with EE Live, resident country, statutory, state and tax exempt, and of course you can save it here. Next, let's just quickly go to eLeave. Oh, and just one quick thing I just want to show. Under settings, we have template designer for your payslips. So you can design your payslips based on what you required. So for example, we have our performance tax details in our payslip designer. So inside here, you can design your payslips. So this is our default payslip, and you can create a custom payslip here. And you can see the full screen, view the code, and import a template if you're required. You can see the different sections here, earnings, deductions, and footer, and you can see all the different fields. All right, so let's go to eLeave. So inside here, you can see your settings. And you can do your leave management, your adjustment, your hourly, yearly, user management, and company settings. So under leave management, inside here, this is where you can configure different types of leave. And I click on new leave type. So new leave type. And inside here, I can put in my leave type name, days per year, number of days, leave accrual, leave prorated, number of days, months, disabled, is it accrued yearly, monthly, one time, first date of the year, last day of the year, the description, is it carried forward, is it based upon any gender or marital status, such as you can think of like maternity leave, paternity leave, is it for all users, allow unpaid, leave active, apply before confirmation date, and years of service. So for example, maybe based upon how many years you've been working there, you can determine how much leave you can get, like 1 through 5, 5 through 10, and so forth. You can adjust your leaves here and do your adjustments. And I can see my leave entitlement here. I can do my applications and requests. Oh yeah, so just to let you know, I'm using Windows here for the first time after many years, and this mouse is not working as I am now used to using Apple. So that's why you see this little screens going through. It's not working the way I want it to work. If I'm going to use Word again or Microsoft, I'm going to bring a mouse because this pad is not doing me any benefits. All right. So inside here, I can see requested, approved, rejected, and pending under the requests. And I can do the application here. And I can also create a new leave application. Click on new leave type over here. And I can select the leave, select the date. For example, maybe on the 19th, I'm applying for sick leave. I put in the reason. Sick of this touchpad on this wonderful system. And then I can go here and I can apply. Maybe, oh yeah, let me just go here, 21st. Apply. Yep. Apply. And now it's applied. And then I can go here for under requests. And we have many different visuals. I can see here, this is pending, and I can click here, the checkbox or the X. I can go here, see it broken down in different formats, meaning requested here, leave, and which one's rejected. And I can see it all sorted here as well. So I can just click the checkbox or the red X here directly on the screen. All right, so that's e-leave. Now we just, okay, then we can ask some questions.
Okay, thank you, David. I think we are done with the demo part of the demos. We'll just answer questions now and conclude the stream. So, few questions from our good friend Sashi Nair. He's asking some very challenging questions, which is very good for the team because we are on our toes. His first question is, why is your hold on, where do I even start? Okay, his first question is 1.5 normal, 1.5 weekly off. Yeah, just answer this question, please.
Yeah, this we will allow the option to configure it for different countries. It's not just going to be 2 options. In fact, I mean, you may get the option to add more. So, for example, our folks in Indonesia will need even more
Eye
than
contact,
2.
eye contact, bro. Eye contact. Yes, eye contact. Try that. It works.
Contact. Okay. I'll
Yeah,
try.
yeah.
All I can think about is what is written on the camera lens right now. So, but anyways, yeah. So yeah, our friends in Indonesia will need even more options than the 2 that are available. So that will become highly configurable. So you will have options not just to change the 1.5 and the 2, but also to add more overtime multipliers there.
Other question he has is, can you do payroll for the months that have passed? So you can do payroll for the current month, but let's say I want to do payroll for May. Can I do that?
So there is an option to add your previous payroll information when you are adding employees, etc., so that it kind of accounts. So similar to what you would call opening balance in books.
You can't run the payroll, right?
At the moment, it is restricted for some geographies. I think only for geographies that are compliance, we have the option to run previous payrolls, because the tax calculation, etc., can become very messy because you may have some overpay, advance payments, etc., and all that. So unless we have the full compliance in, that would be tricky.
Cool. Okay, so we will not have that. Can I use custom field in payroll? Employee document details such as passport number, blah blah blah. Shashina, you should use the previous product actually. But we are discontinuing that. Can I use the custom fields? I think we should have custom fields in payroll, right? Are we adding that?
We don't have it as of now. We are working on.
If we had it, he wouldn't have asked, man.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have it now. We will add it, but after we have finished with the current compliances. So yeah, I mean,
custom field should be easy to add. It won't add to the feature clutter. Custom field should be something that we can add in payroll.
Again, it depends on, just adding custom fields is not the end of it. Once you have custom fields and you want those custom fields to be available
in the reports,
then you want to show, hide or show their visibility. you want to filter them, you want to search them. So it's an entire ecosystem that has to go in, even if we add one thing. So
Yeah, so add those things because he's using the old product and he wants to move them to new customers, and they were very much happy. I know. Other question. David is a very good presenter. Thank you, and he's doing that without any audio support. So imagine. What is the default task screen for countries you don't have compliance yet? And this is something that we can spend a little bit of time on. Uh, Somesh, just mark this question. I'm not able to mark this question on my interface. I'm looking at the camera. What is the default tax screen for just above this? What is the default tax screen for the countries you don't have compliance in? So go ahead, answer this.
yeah, so the default tax screen would be blank. We'll only add the 0% tax, and then you can add your own taxes with the percentages, etc. Now we also have the option to add tax groups, which will allow you to apply taxes, multiple taxes to one invoice or one line item based on your configuration, whether they're supposed to be pre-tax or post-tax and so on. But yeah, I mean, it's just going to be 0% available there, and you have the flexibility to add your own tax percentages.
So my question is, can I use the full product if I have the tax information of my country? Can I use the full product by entering the information on my own?
Yes, you can. What you will not get is any tax reports that you may need to submit to the government in that particular format. But otherwise, you will get your entire tax calculation. You will, I mean, you can see the tax report that will show you what your input tax is, what your output tax is, how the tax is being distributed, and so on.
Okay. So is this statement correct that I can use Deskera fully by entering my taxes? Now my taxes could be complicated. I could have like multi taxes or multi lines of taxes, right? Would that work, or does it have to be simple tax system?
With the tax group function that we have added now, which we added for both, I mean, which is something that is available in both Australia and Canada, you can pretty much configure your taxes any which way.
Is it available for US as well?
For US, no, because
Tax
US
group?
doesn't have multiple taxes like that, and because their tax calculation is based on geography, which we have kind of inbuilt into the system. So
No, hold on. You said for Canada and if I have Canada, I have the compliance, right? If I have the product in Canada, I'm talking about countries that don't have that compliance. Can they
even
use as group?
yes, they will be able to.
Okay,
Because tax group is a feature, so you
Okay.
can do tax group as a feature instead of just having it for Canada, and it will take some work to, for example, make it more. I mean, during the onboarding process, for example, we can ask that question: hey, do you have multiple taxes that you apply? And if the answer is yes, then the tax group feature becomes available. So you can either go with your simple tax system where you have one tax only applied to any document or any line, or you can go with a complicated tax group structure where multiple taxes can be applied, and they can be applied to either the pre-tax amount or the post-tax amount.
Great. And that takes us to the next question. So, Somesh, just scroll down. There's a question from Jonathan Fortin regarding tax in Canada. Are we able to apply two different taxes and then do quarterly report on a per tax basis?
Yeah. So you can apply two different taxes. I think we showed that in our last demo as well, wherein you can create a tax group. You can apply two taxes together. For Quebec, I think the default is already added there, but you can add your own also if you want to. But I mean, for Canada, because we have the compliance, the default QST, which is a combination of two taxes, is already available in the system.
Are we able to see a quarterly report on a per tax basis? I don't think we have that report. Do we have the report?
Reports are not added as yet. They will be added and when we have the full release.
And we use our report engine for the reports. We have built a report engine and we have spent a lot of time on that. Can we finally use a report engine for the reports?
I think there's still some work needed there.
Piyush being on vacation next week, notwithstanding, can we use reports?
We can use reports. In fact, reports is released now. I mean, if you are already a customer, then you can just go to
Have,
report-builder.deskera.com and you will be able to access.
have you released it to in the production?
Yeah, but there is no direct. I mean, we don't have a button for it.
Ah,
So
okay.
that's why I'm just saying the URL. I mean, if you type in the URL, you will go there. The button
Okay.
will also come.
Okay. So in short, we have two suggestions. One is we will have some reports coming up once the Canada is live, the compliance is live. But we also have a plan for report engine, which we have released to build these reports for you once the report engine is fully released. So either way, we will get to all the reports very soon. Report engine is much more flexible and it's also much more user friendly. So you can design your reports. The idea behind report engine is not just to submit your tax reports, statutory reports, but also to present them. So you have integrations coming up with PowerPoint. You have integrations coming up with the web browser. So you can just click and present wherever you are. So it's a very cool engine. And if you really went out and bought a product like Tableau or um ClickView, it would cost you a good amount of money. So the report engine solves the problem of tax reports. Um, there is a form engine as well, which is coming up for demo probably next week, which will let you file statutory forms from the system. So if you have a statutory tax report that you have to file, statutory, a form which is very hard coded, a very government form, very official sort of form, that can be filed as well from the system, and that can be customized as well from the system. So we have a few tools coming up that can scale report filing, statutory tax filing, and report viewing as well, report making as well. So just hang around for a few more weeks. You'll see these coming up in the product. Um, yeah. So if you have to complain, you have a per tax report. So we'll probably have this report very soon.
Yeah, you will have it. I mean, when once the Canada compliance is released on production, it will be with reports. All the compliance reports that you need.
Mohammed Zain is asking, can Yodlee, and this somebody else as well, can Yodlee be released this month or
Yeah.
not? Answer is yes, we will release it this month, ASAP, probably by next week. We're testing it out and we'll have it out by next week if all goes well, by next Friday. Did I overspeak, Saurabh?
Uh, I don't think so. No. Now that you have spoken, we'll make it happen. So it's okay.
Good, good, good. That was the intention. Ashu is tearing his hair.
She was like,
Two more questions, Mohammed Zaini. Custom field for format, numbering, invoice, code, bill, and etc. Auto update here, month and numbering. Ayyu. Okay, so take this up, Sora, please. Custom field for basically everything.
yeah, so
Custom field for custom field as well.
no, I think what Mohammed Zaini is asking for is that when I select my prefix or suffix in my invoice numbering system, instead of having letters, I can put dates and date format there. So the date format would be something like DDMMYY. So then my invoice formats would be something like 1410 2020 slash
DDMMYY number.
yeah DDMMYY as the
DDMMYY sequence.
sequence, and then followed by the actual sequence. So your sequence basically would reset at the end of every month. So
We have this feature in the old product.
yes, we have DDMMYY, we have YYYY, we have MMMM. Every possible combination is there. So uh, we will get around to that. But yeah, I mean,
Do
we
we have it
have
now? We don't have it now, right? In the new product?
we don't have this now. And frankly, I mean, even in the older system, there were not a lot of people using it. I think some of the users who were using it, we had a couple of users from Malaysia and maybe a couple of users from Singapore who used that feature actually. Apart from that, I don't think pretty much anybody was using that. And I believe that is a throwback to previous I mean, why the need arises or why people use this kind of numbering system is because earlier, if they wanted to get a list of invoices for a particular month, they would have filed it using that way, using those numbers, and it is easier to retrieve it. And that has kind of continued as a business practice. So I believe that is one of the reasons why this kind of numbering method was used earlier. Now, actually, you don't really need that because you can easily filter by month or date or whatever, and you can just get all the invoices released and created in any given month or paid in any given month for that matter. But still, I mean, the practice is there, and some people are used to it, and they want to continue using this. So yeah, I mean, that is, I mean, so yeah, I mean, we do have some demand for it, but frankly not a lot of people are using those kind of sequence numbers anymore, because it's just easier to retrieve information by typing a query, or just go into the search and type, or filter by the month.
Cool. Question on Germany. When is Germany getting released? Not anytime soon.
I believe in Q1.
Which month in Q1 is the question? Which month?
So I cannot answer exactly which month, but I would like to say around February, because we will be working. I mean, we already have Netherlands and
No.
France.
So I'll tell you. I'll tell you. We are. You need to like move your hand so that your lights go up, go on in your background. And I think the answer for Germany is that right now we have Netherlands lined up for release. And once Netherlands is out, UK is lined up. Netherlands is lined up. Once UK and Netherlands,
New
what's
Zealand
that?
also. New
Yeah,
Zealand.
New Zealand lined up as well. So once we have these three countries released, which is going to take another few weeks, so about 2 to 3 weeks more, and we get all the issues sorted out for Australia and Canada, including reports, we will get to Netherlands and Germany. So it's going to be February, mid to late February. Keep in mind, we'll have to address all the issues in the current release of Australia and Canada before we get to new countries. So my worry is that we should get, my worry is that we shouldn't have a lot of issues in these releases. So once all of this is lined up, we will get to Germany, and that's going to be probably mid of February. So hopefully, if everything works, we're going to be on schedule for that mid Q1.
Yeah.
When is the report engine going to arrive? Report engine is live. You have to find the link somehow.
You
When
just
will Dubai number come? You
one.
get one more user asking that question, we'll prioritize Dubai. You have to visit Dubai yet. Haven't visited Dubai in a while. Actually, haven't visited any country this year. Been sitting in Singapore for 1 year. Yeah, seriously.
I managed to go to Japan very early in the year, just before.
I know.
So-
I saw your Facebook pics. I know. I've been tortured. So thanks. I know that. We know that.
But yeah, I mean, after that, it's been a dry year. So
Yeah. Can't wait to get to US, man.
yeah, and hopefully with the vaccine coming, and I mean, I hope things will start relaxing. And it's good for everybody. It's good for business overall. I mean, the vaccine itself has boosted the morale across the world. So
Oh yeah, it's like I don't know, man. Seriously, just want to get over with this thing. Report engine will share the link, and we'll have this on the dashboard this week. But we'll share the link. The link is public, as in you can start using it even now. German tax is complicated, so take a time. Yes, we will take a time. Thank you. Again, keep in mind our approach for any country's release is that we will release it with a functioning UI, and we will wait for the reports so that you can start entering your data, and then we'll wait for the reports to come up so that we have more time to get the statutory part of reports fixed or submitted. So once you have enter the data, invoicing and all, your taxes and all, once they are taken care of, we'll then move to reports, and we'll have like the whole compliance broken down into two parts, so that it's easier for us to debug and easier for us to fix the issues. So the first part is entry, which we have released for all these countries, and the second part is report, which we are releasing for all these countries as we speak. So that's what we'll do with Germany as well. So we'll release the interface first, and then we'll come to reports, and hopefully use our own report engine to build the reports. With that, I think we're pretty much done with all the questions. So we have a dwindling number of 28 people watching it. Thank you for staying with us for last 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 5 minutes. And Anuj Agarwal is asking, Anuj Agarwal, you sit in Pune. Why are you asking for US? Come on. Are you asking for US compliance? Or are you asking for us to go to US?
I think he's asking for us to go to US. So
Oh, yeah. Got
he's
it.
recording his New England days. So
Oh, New England, New England days. Yeah, Singapore is a small place. It's a good place to be with. Yeah. So thank you for your time. Again, this Friday we'll come back Monday, and we'll keep doing this on Monday as well for the foreseeable future. Please keep joining, ask questions, and keep us on our toes. Thank you, Sashi Nair, for asking all those questions. Report engine is out. Shashi Nair, you can look at it. You don't have to wait for it anymore. It's out. You can start testing it out. You should start testing report engine out, and you should also start testing the website builder. I haven't seen any question from you on website builder. Why haven't you asked a question on website builder? I was hoping you would ask question on website builder. I was hoping more people would ask question on website builder, because that's one thing that it's new, and also something that it's very exciting, and it's a new feature that you won't find in other products. Even our competition, Zero doesn't have any of that. So take a look at website builder, use it, ask questions, and help us build more features or more usability or more good interface for you to use it. And that's the idea. So you start using it, and give us some ideas. So please use the website builder and ask questions. We haven't released the website builder on the website. If you look at our website, you will see that you won't see website builder on the website yet, on our homepage yet. And then the reason behind that is that we want our users to use it first, and then we release it. It'll be a paid product. It won't be free. It'll be free for the deal users and the current set of users that we have. Early adopters, it will be free, but it'll be paid for the new users. So we want to release it for the new users once we have all the current users onboarded. So please use the website builder as much as possible. Build websites and see if it fits your fits your needs. There was a post this week, Saurabh, on website builder as well. Somebody was asking questions on some features. Maybe we probably overlooked that post, but we'll bring it up on Monday next week. But we want you to use website builder. We want you to use report builder, which is again available on production, but you have to get the link. So Saurabh will post a link on Facebook group that you can start using, and you can start using it. We're also going to release automation in the next coming 2 weeks for you to start using. So we have 3 big features outside of books, people, and CRM: website builder, report builder, and automation that you can start using. The first 2 you can start using even right now, and the third one we'll probably release it in the coming week or the following week once it's more stable. And then you can start using all of these 3 free of cost, no charge. It'll be paid for new users, obviously, but again, early adopters get it for free. So this will be a feature pipeline for the near future. So we won't release any new products after this. We'll not spend time on new products. So project management is something that we're not going to spend a lot of time on. We probably use the workflow builder as we'll probably have a feature of project management in the workflow builder. Link of report website builder. Website builder is on your dashboard. Report builder, we'll share the link, but website builder is on the dashboard. So with these 3 new features, you'll get a lot of coverage on the feature side and on the customization side as well. So you'll have a lot of new things to play with, and that's the idea. There's one more thing on the phone app. Try the phone app. I know, Sashi, you are trying the phone app, but please try the phone app for point of sale, and try it for use cases which are closer to your point of sale use cases, like you are in front of a customer, or you're delivering the product, or you have a front end store where people walk in. So you can use the app as a point of sale, which is something which is not being used at all. So maybe you can make a blog post on that, because we don't see a lot of users using it as a point of sale, and we are very surprised that people ask for integration with point of sale, which is obviously we'll do that integration, but you can use the app as point of sale. It's a very good point of sale app. You don't have to spend a single dollar extra in buying another point of sale app. So I don't see any reason to buy a point of sale app. Honestly, there's no need to buy a point of sale app. You can use this app. It connects to your inventory. It connects to your backend, and it's more powerful than any point of sale app. What do you have to say, Saurabh?
Yeah, I mean, for some use cases, yes, you don't really need a point of sale. You can do with the mobile app. There are some specialized use cases. For example, let's say I'm in the F&B and I have a point of sale app. So when I get an order, then the point of sale app also connects with printers in the kitchen where the order
Hey, that
goes.
is easy to build. That connect. That's why you wanted to use it. So you use it and give us that use case, and we'll build the connector.
Yeah, yeah. So if we build that connector, then yes, we can. I mean, pretty much replace POS.
See, if you are an FMB, and if you are, let's say, a restaurant, and you have a seated dining, you can put an app, a small device, an iPad or a old iPhone or an Android device on every desk, and have people order from the device themselves. Now you will need a menu system for that, a simple menu system, an interface where you can order what you want. There are applications, like plenty of them, that have menus built into it, but I want to use a website maker for the menus. So there is a use case. The website maker on, I'm not saying make it a separate app. I'm just saying use it as a, in the mobile environment, just use it in the browser itself, and you design your menu in the website maker, and then have it linked to our app. Now that's a use case that doesn't require a lot of dev time. That's just a front-end use case which we can solve using our workflow builder. But essentially, every menu that I've seen is a very creative job, right? Every menu that F&B owners build, they put photographs, they put names, they put a lot of things that are basically they resemble a website. You're not fully convinced, are you?
No. I was. It was the stand was falling, so
Oh.
I was trying to fix that.
So I want to use that use case. I want to use a use case where a website builder connects with our phone app as a menu slash order system, without having to do any backend. All front end connections using our workflow builder. All front end. So Robert is asking, where should I submit a use case? Facebook group, just a Facebook group, just or send us an email. But I would prefer if you make a post on the Facebook group and tag me, tag Saurabh, and we'll respond to that group. So this is again a lot of this is sort of, it's something that you have to start using before you come back and say what you need. So you take a look, start using, experimenting with it, and then come back and say, look, maybe I need these features, and then we can see the building block, the Lego blocks that we have in the backend, and we link those. So a lot of this is subject to the use case that you have and how you use it, and when you use it, you will know what is missing and what is not. So it's very important for you to use these applications and see what is missing or not. Provide the document scanner in mobile app. We have the document scanner in mobile app, right? There's a question from Sachin.
No, document scanner is available only in Singapore geography. It's not available in the US.
Really?
Yeah.
They don't have the documents. Why not?
It's in beta stage, so that's why we release it to a
You
smaller.
release la, don't worry. It's okay. Release it for every geography. Oh,
Yeah,
when
so
did this beta mentality?
it was only a limited release just to get
No,
some.
release it. Release it for Sachin, and he'll start using it, and we'll come back with some feedback. Now, I know that is in a very early stage. The document scanner may not have the perfect scanning capability, but as long as it can scan documents, take a picture, store them, that's good enough. They'll give us enough material to start working on. Some of these features can take a little bit of time and feedback, but once we have this released, we'll get a right feedback rather than spending back in time on improving it without releasing it. So we'll release that. Good question, Sachin. We release it. Is my mobile team on the call? Are they on? I think
Probably.
everyone is pretty much on the call. They've been punished to. But yeah, we let's release that. Let's get it on. Let's get the document scanner out. It's a good use case, man. And the document scanner, when it starts talking to an AI, document reading AI, it can be very useful for document scanning. We will not get that tomorrow, but we'll get it eventually. So that's a AI use case. You can do good document scanning. So with that, please try all the product. Sachin has said he sent an email to care and support. Take a look on the links. What email did you send? What email have you sent? Anyway, we'll do it. Take it offline. Rohit Deshmukh is online 2 a.m. Thank you, Singapore 2 a.m. That's
So, actually, I was talking to Rohit and Prashant and all the other devs, and what they mentioned was that they find these webinars, very good because it's
they,
like,
dude, their CEO is on the webinar. They have to say good things.
no, it's not. I mean, well, you were not around when they were talking about it, so it's more of a it's it's a more realistic feedback. So,
Yeah, so it's an oft used line that when you speak to somebody, you're also speaking to yourself. And it's a cliched line, I know, but when you do a demo to the world, you also do a demo to yourself, right? And the deeper you go in a product, in a webinar, the webinar goes deeper into you. So it's a good platform to reflect. I don't find any. I was looking for webinars on YouTube to see what others do. I didn't find any single company with a senior management doing a webinar. Any single company. So Zero's webinar is done by a junior product guy, and you can just Google search and you can find it quickly. Zoho's webinars are done by you know who, right? So not the most senior guys. Webinars are typically done by marketing people or junior product people who have no say in the product, and they're done by people who have no control on the end process. So webinars are basically a marketing tool as opposed to a self discovery, self product understanding. I use the word self discovery, right? Interesting. So they've never been a tool for teams, senior management, CEO and around to see what's going on, and have never been used transparently. So that's something that we are trying. I don't know if it works. It's going to be somebody's going to write a book on it. So we jury's out. It's going to take a little bit of time. Enterprise software moves slowly. It won't move overnight. It won't. I'm sorry. I'll just click on my camera. It won't. It won't have massive tectonic shifts overnight. It takes many years, right? So if we keep doing this is going to be part of some hard work case study if we're successful. Otherwise, nobody's going to care. But good news is that we're trying something new. We're trying something that nobody has tried. So full marks for effort. But let's see if it works or not. But we keep going. I am 100% convinced that I'm going to do it every week, no matter what. And the reason I'm doing it is not for anybody else. I'm doing it for myself, so that I have this clarity of thought. I can see my product every week instead of sitting with you in a closed door room. I can see it publicly, transparently, and I'll still meet you every Monday individually, but I'll do these publicly with my investors looking at it and my customers looking at it, and anyone is open to make any comment completely freely without any restriction. So no editing of any comment. You can come to my YouTube group. YouTube is actually very open, right? So you don't even have to join the group. You can just go to my YouTube channel and make a comment. And there's no restriction. So if you don't like a service or support or product, just go in and say we hate it. And it's going to be very transparent. So I wanted to do this for a while, and since we are doing it now, I don't care if even 5 people watch it. We'll make our team watch it. Don't worry, we'll be more than 5 people. But we'll keep doing it, and glad that the team can watch it. But yeah, we are a product company, B2B product company that has to innovate. So we are a company that has to innovate, and we have to take new execute on new ideas. So hopefully people like it, and hopefully the team likes it. It's going to be on YouTube transparently forever on my channel, and no editing, no managing of, no managing of the
Post-production.
communication, no post production, except whatever Somesh tries.
But that is also not post-production. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully people can appreciate it. But even if they don't, the fact that you don't get appreciation doesn't mean you don't do it. You keep doing it, you'll eventually get appreciation. Foundation of our Hindu philosophy, right? Do your job. Don't worry about. Hey, Rohit, I spoke. This is all for you as well. Do your job. Don't worry about. Just kidding. Okay. Thank you for everyone once again. E-commerce issues. I think Sashina is having e-commerce issues. Website not builder not working. Okay, good. We'll take a look at your website builder issues. April, thank you for sticking around for 2.5 hours. Thank you. And we will do this again Monday and do this again Friday, next Friday. I have to make a post tomorrow. I'll make a post tomorrow for some case study. So we'll bring one case study from the next webinar. We'll bring one person to present their business and talk about the business as well. This is going to happen from next week. So I'll make a post on the group about the format that we're going to, add on or edit from next week. But for tonight, we are pretty much done. Thank you so much for sticking around for 2.5 hours. Thank you, and looking forward to do this again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night and good day.
Have a good day. Good night.